The woman I'm describing is kind yet strong. She has strength that is ever so subtle. She doesn't give up her life and won't chase a man. She won't let a man think he has 100% hold on her, but she'll stand up for herself when he steps over the line. She knows what she wants but won't compromise herself to get it. But she's feminine, like a steel magnolia, flowery on the outside and steel on the inside. She uses this to her own advantage. It isn't that she takes advantage of men, because she plays fair. She has one thing the nice girl doesn't: a presence of mind, because she isn't swept away by romantic fantasy. This presence of mind enables her to wield her power when it is necessary. In addition, she has the ability to remain cool under pressure, whereas a woman who is too nice gives and gives until she is depleted. The woman with presence of mind knows when to pull back. Success in love isn't about looks, it's about attitude. But growing up, what does the girl learn? How to obsess over someone else's approval? And how to obsess over someone else's disapproval. This woman doesn't live someone else's standards, only her own. This is the woman who plays by her own rules, who has a feeling of confidence, freedom, and empowerment. This woman has the presence of mind to do what it is in her best interest, and an attitude that says she doesn't need to be there. She is there by choice. Hello, welcome to the first episode of the podcast. Since this video comes out on Valentine's Day, I thought what better way to start than why men love the B word. It doesn't really matter what stage you are, if you're single, dating, married. I've been in a relationship for 5 years and this book has helped me so much. In the book, it compares the nice girl to the dream girl. I was the girl that was too nice. I stopped hanging out with my friends, I would fight over the paycheck, and I allowed my partners to dictate my value. I grew up believing that communication was key, and while I do believe communication is really important in a lot of scenarios, but it had been years of me trying to communicate and nothing coming out of it. And it's literally the definition of insanity, is doing the exact same thing and expecting a different result. I found that the less I spoke, the more hurt I felt, because it's through action that demands respect, not words. While also using the energy I would typically use to demand respect, I would instead pour that back into myself. Of course, I am still a work in progress and have a long way to go, but that's just one of the lessons that I learned from this book, along with a lot of others. A quick disclaimer, these are lessons that personally resonated with me. Please take what serves you and feel free to leave the rest. I am also going to be using the word dream girl instead of the B word because it just flows more naturally to me, and in her definition, it's basically the same thing. All right, let's get started. A dream girl won't kill herself to impress anyone. Who I am is enough. Take it or leave it. If you don't hear from him for a little longer than usual, show him that you have absolutely no attitude about it. This behavior will make him a little unsure about whether you miss him or need him when he isn't around. If he tries to get a woman to act in an insecure way, but she holds herself with a level of dignity and pride, suddenly the dynamic changes. Another mistake that a woman can make is to put herself down. This is the time to be sure of who you are. Believe that you are a catch. Period. End of story. Case closed. If someone else doesn't like your confidence, that's their problem. Why? You always come before they do. That's why. A beautiful woman can make herself look ugly in the eyes of a man if she is very insecure. Never assume you are not attractive enough. It's about whether you can hold your own, which is all about how you hold yourself. A woman also demeans herself when she compares herself to another woman. So don't let on that you feel threatened by another attractive woman who walks into the room. If you want to make a woman who is a 6 on a scale of 10 look like a 12, what do? Simple. Act threatened by her. If you pretend not to notice her, he'll see your confidence in yourself, and then he'll become intrigued with you. And then another curious thing will happen. Suddenly, she won't look so good. She only has as much power as you give her. If you are in an uncomfortable situation, don't feel compelled to compete with another woman. In addition, you don't need to expose a lot of skin or feel as if you have to work harder to earn a man's attention. I know a woman who takes off layers of clothes based on how the other women in the room are dressed. This again is overcompensation. No need. A dream girl doesn't rely on a miniskirt to feel good. She relies on who she is as a woman. A woman who is comfortable in her own skin cannot be made to feel bad about herself. If a man says, maybe I need a little more time to think things over, what would a dream girl do? She offers to help him pack. Why? Because she loves herself and doesn't want anyone who doesn't want her. A dream girl is nice. She's as sweet as a Georgia peach. She smiles and she is feminine. She just doesn't make decisions based on fear of losing a man. If the choice is between her dignity and having a relationship, then the dream girl will prioritize her dignity above all else. The dream girl remains the person she is throughout the whole relationship with the man. She doesn't lose her friends. She doesn't give up her career or her hobbies. She doesn't give up all her time or bend over backward. And unlike the nice girl, she is not too tolerant of disrespect. She also keeps her edge and has enormous self-respect. She holds the conviction that her self-worth governs her decisions because she is not afraid. Ironically, he becomes afraid to lose her. Because she is not needy, he starts to need her. Because she isn't dependent on him, he begins to depend on her. It's like a reverse magnet. The person who is least dependent on the outcome of the relationship will automatically draw the other person in. She is polite but clear. The dream girl knows what she likes and has an easier time expressing it directly. As a result, she usually gets what she wants. Here are the 10 characteristics that define her. 1. She maintains her independence. It doesn't matter if she's the CEO of a company or a waitress at Denny's. She earns an honest living and isn't standing there with her hands out. 2. She doesn't pursue him. The moon and the sun and the stars don't revolve around him. He is not the center of the world. 3. She is mysterious. There is a difference between honesty and disclosure. She is honest but does not reveal everything. 4. She leaves him wanting. She doesn't see him every night or leave long messages on his machine. 5. She doesn't let him see her sweat. She keeps communication from getting messy and avoids communication when upset. She allows herself to clear her mind. 6. She remains in control of her time. She takes it slowly, especially when he wants to hurry. She moves to her own rhythm, not his, preventing him from taking control of her. 7. She maintains a sense of humor. A sense of humor lets him know that she is detached. However, she doesn't treat disrespect as a laughing matter. 8. She places a high value on herself. When he gives a compliment, she says thank you and doesn't talk him out of it. 9. She is passionate about something other than him. When he feels he isn't the be-all and end-all of her existence, it is more desirable. Staying busy ensures she isn't resentful when he is unavailable. 10. She treats her body like a finely tuned machine. She maintains her appearance and health. A person's self-respect is reflected in how he or she maintains physical appearance. If he tells her he doesn't like the red lipstick, she wears it anyway if it makes her feel good. Again, the dream girl is very nice. She is as sweet as a Georgia peach, but inside every peach is a strong pit, and this means she won't explain the obvious when a man is disrespectful. There is no way to hold your own in a relationship and also accept rude behavior. There is nothing wrong with a little self-respect and a few conditions. Condition 1. He books in advance. This message, your time and attention are valuable. Condition 2. Don't see him when you are running on empty. The message, he does not come before basic needs. Condition 3. If you aren't having fun or he is in good company, end the date immediately and give a superficial explanation as to why. The message, you have a standard of how you expect to be treated. When he's shaving and he's late for work, don't push your way into the bathroom to watch him. Don't ask him to spend all his time with you, and don't say I miss you when you haven't seen him in 2 hours. If you do these things, you are subtly doing the chasing. When you treat your time together as something he has to do, you take in something that was a pleasure and made it a chore. A man wants a woman who has a mind of her own, an opinion. The way you assert yourself lets him know whether you have self-confidence. Have an opinion, state a preference, and be polite, but don't be afraid to express yourself. Show him that you aren't afraid to make a suggestion or take the initiative. Assume that a man wants to be a gentleman, and if he wants to be a gentleman, he wants to please you. If the guy insists on picking the movie or the restaurant all the time and has no regard for what she likes, the dream girl does not have any contact with him. It's about whether he shows her he is selfish. This is a character flaw that the dream girl will not tolerate. There is a part where it talks about not being intimate right away and allowing him to treat you before becoming intimate. When a woman makes him wait and he's romantic over time, the dinners and the flowers keep on coming. Why? Because he formed a habit of treating her with respect before he got what he wanted. The dream woman is the woman who will look at her watch in an effort to drop a hint if he brings up other women. She already knows what she has to offer is enough. Take it or leave it. Anytime a woman competes with another woman, she demeans herself. If the subject of other women come up, casually throw this into one of the conversations. If any woman can steal a guy away from me, then she can have him, because I wouldn't want him anymore. Then smile, take a sip of wine, and change the subject. If you don't trust him, stop seeing him. But until he gives you a reason not to trust him, behave as though you trust him. It'll make you look secure with yourself, as if you're saying with your actions, well, of course you want to be with me. In order to motivate a man to give, he must feel good when he gives. He must feel appreciated. Let him be right, you be smart. This is the reason why the dream girl lets a man think he's in control. A couple of times a week, when he's kind or generous, let him know that he's the top dog. You shouldn't show that you need him to help with common sense, coping with everyday life, emotional stability, reassurance of your self-worth, self-esteem, feeling complete as a person. However, you can show that you need and appreciate his masculinity. He'll absolutely eat out of your hand when he feels like you like his manliness. Praise is an effective tool in getting him to treat you the way you want. Don't complain, well, you used to buy me flowers. From this point forward, every bouquet he gives you is the prettiest you've ever seen. Don't complain that he doesn't take you out enough. Instead, every restaurant he takes you to is unbelievable or amazing. When you appear softer and more feminine, you appeal to his instinct to protect. When you appear more aggressive, you appeal to his instinct to compete. Praise is important. When he takes you out to eat, say thank you once at dinner and again when you say goodnight. The nice girl often makes the mistake of saying thank you over and over, then calls the following day to say thank you 3 times on his answering machine. As though no one's ever bought her a hot meal before. In the beginning, without a question, let him pay. After you've been dating for a while, that can change, but don't do a 50-50 split. He is not a professional colleague. When a man is crazy about a woman, he isn't concerned with splitting the check. If he can't afford it, suggest an inexpensive place or do something that doesn't cost money. Visit a museum, go on a bike ride, split a dinner plate, and don't order alcohol. However, if he asks you to split the check on the first few dates, don't see him again. It has less to do with a few dollars than with the fact he isn't very concerned with impressing you, and that's never a good sign. So let him be the man, a gentleman. The important thing is that when he pays, let him know at the end of the dinner you really do appreciate it, and compliment him on his taste in food, wine, or the restaurant. If it wasn't good, don't comment. Agree with everything, explain nothing, then do what is best for you. It'll make your whole life a lot easier. In Japan, there is an interesting motto: a smart eagle does not show her claws. In addition to making him feel good, a man needs to have things be his idea. So remember, it's always his idea. Even if it isn't, convince him that it is. When you're in front of a group of friends, and he steps in and takes credit for something that you thought of, don't make a fuss over it. Don't try to correct him or show him up in front of your mutual friends, because you'll feel emasculated. If it's absolutely necessary, wait until you are alone. Address it privately, not in front of people. If it's unimportant nonsense, let him take all the credit. Who cares? The dream girl knows better. She never starts a fight over something trivial, particularly if she knows in advance she'll gain absolutely nothing from winning. The dream girl is strong in a demeanor way. She stands her ground. She appears to give up power, but gains leverage in the process. For all ego-intensive purposes, help him look manly in front of other people. Let him open the doors for you. Let him address the hostess of the restaurant. This is just the token power position, which is meaningless. When you are truly running the show, you don't need to tip your hand or flaunt it. If he's treating you like you are his dream girl, you have all the power you need. Remember, feminine strength is equally as powerful. It's a poetic justice. Men control the world, but the women control the men. He will always want to remain a king in your eyes. He'll want to please you. Men work their whole lives just to have a woman look at them adoringly and say, "You're wonderful and I admire you." He'll climb a whole mountain just to feel admired by a woman he loves. A man wants a good woman, but being a dream girl does not mean you lose your femininity. But it also doesn't mean you overly try to wear the pants in the house. It just means you don't allow anyone to walk all over you. The classic superwoman wants a relationship in which the man and woman are equals. This is nice in theory, but in practice it becomes a one-sided relationship pretty quickly. When a woman acts as though she's capable of everything, she gets stuck doing everything. The hardest lesson for the nice girl is to learn how to receive. Let him give to you, because part of his manhood is defined by feeling responsible. The dream girl doesn't give up power. She simply creates the appearance that she does. I was once on a date with a man I had just met. He began to share all of the sordid details of his last relationship. I had no desire to listen, but I didn't criticize him or make him feel wrong. I was polite, and I simply asked, "So John, what's your workload like at the office this week?" The dream girl does not ask, "May we change the subject?" Permission isn't necessary. It's important for him to think you're different. You are relaxed, secure, and happy, with him or without him. The too nice girl stops doing the routine everyday things. She stops seeing friends. She stops going to yoga class. She stops playing tennis on the weekends. She stops making time for the things she did when she was single. The dream girl does not stop moving to her own rhythm. This, in and of itself, prevents her from becoming off-balanced like a nice girl who abandons her routine. Most women are starving to receive something from a man that they need to give to themselves. A man rarely realizes just how much the nice girl gives up. He doesn't make the same sacrifices because she's adjusting her life to be with him. After she gives up everything in her life, she begins to demand the same of him. She wants him to stop seeing family and friends. She wants him to spend all his free time with her. And if he goes to the gym, she wants to accompany him. He doesn't feel this pressure from the dream girl, so he wants to be around her more, not less, and he respects her because she appears to have a life. Suppose a woman says to a guy she can't go on a date with him that night because of her weekly pottery class. He scratches his head and thinks she'd rather go to a pottery class than me. It not only attracts him, but it blows his mind. When you love life with him or without him, that is when he will accept and value you for who you are. A man loses respect for a woman who needs his approval, particularly when she will overcompensate to get it. As long as a woman takes in control of remaining who she is, he will need her. When a man thinks about a woman who has control over herself, he automatically thinks about her presence and about ways to please her. Women are much more likely to cancel plans. Men don't give up boys' night out. Men don't give up their work or their sleep or their food. Likewise, they respect a woman who can hold onto what is important to her. It doesn't matter if he wants to see you constantly. Even if he's an incredible guy and you feel great temptation, don't give him all of your time. Try to see him 2/3 of the time that he asks. For the remaining third, you have something else going on. Force yourself to keep the routine you had before you met him. Power is the control you have over yourself. When a man treats a woman with disrespect and she takes it, he begins to lose respect for her. A dream girl prioritizes herself over melting into someone else. Because of this, her no means no, and her yes means yes. And the objective isn't to be obnoxious, but to have the ability to be clear. You can be very nice and still be clear. A man will respect a woman who is clear and direct about what she needs, without second guessing herself. Know who you are and what you will or will not accept. You have a life, you have other priorities, some of which come before him. Don't stop eating, sleeping, or exercising. Keep your routine. Above all, make every effort to stay focused on your life. The dream girl is not governed by fear of losing a man, because she knows the real price to pay is when she loses herself. What is important is that she doesn't explain herself. She just does what she wants to do. She doesn't ask for his permission to honor her own wishes. She just honors them. Just remember, it isn't about a man. This is your life, and it's too precious to waste. It will yield a much better return on investment, especially in the dignity department. Communicate with your actions rather than your words. When you nag, he tunes you out, but when you speak with your actions, he pays attention. As one man once said to me, men will get away with what you let them get away with. This isn't to say that there aren't great guys out there, but a man with integrity, or anyone with integrity for that matter, doesn't want something they haven't earned. That's why a high caliber, self-respecting guy will be attracted to a woman who won't let someone walk all over her. If he takes you for granted and you pull back a little with no explanation, it catches him off guard and gets his attention big time. You're no longer acting in a way he's used to. Words are not needed to teach a man how to treat you. A little bit of silence or distance will often do the trick. Win him over by acting as though you can take him or leave him. A little distance combined with the appearance of self-control makes him nervous that he may be losing you. You need to alter the pattern that has become convenient for him with no attitude and no warning. Use the same type of excuses that he wanted you to accept. See him half as much as he wants to see you. Expressing yourself when he takes you for granted doesn't work. You have to show him with actions. Expressing your feelings constantly is like pleading. It comes across as needy rather than dignified. But backing away when he crosses the line, plenty dignified. When you tell a man how you feel, most of the time he doesn't understand what you're talking about. If a man isn't being nice when you're out, all you have to do is remain polite and then go home early. I have a big day tomorrow. We need to call this an early night. The next time you go out, he'll be on his best behavior. If he asks, is something wrong? Take a deep breath and respond calmly. Yes, something is wrong, but I'd like to talk about it later. I really don't want to talk about it now. It's with this behavior, not with your words, that let him know where you stand. After all, a strong woman is everything men dream and fantasize about. A man respects a woman who won't tolerate being treated badly. Instead of working so hard to please him, work harder to please yourself. Because ultimately, this is what will truly please him. It's important to let him know you place your dignity above all else, even if you're dating a very successful man. He has to know you'll give up a comfortable lifestyle before you'll accept being misused or mistreated. You have to show that you won't accept mistreatment, then you will keep his respect. You don't have to be rich. You just have to maintain the ability to take care of yourself. The ability to choose how you want to live and the ability to choose how you want to be treated are the two things that will give you more power than any material object ever will. He should never feel that he holds the key to your livelihood. If he pays, it's always best to help him realize that you took time to notice that he went out of his way and that you are grateful. Appreciate his generosity and kindness. Many men enjoy feeling like the provider, as long as they feel appreciated for what they give. If he opens the door for you, let him know that you admire that too. Whenever he feels that you admire his masculinity, it makes him feel rewarded. Usually when a man insists on splitting the check on the first few days, he's showing you right up front that he doesn't value you or the relationship. A dream girl has no problem and no issues surrounding being treated well, so she lets the man give and she allows herself to receive. She says thank you politely and graciously, and at no time does she feel guilty or obligated. nor does she feel compromised in any way. If he's absolutely crazy about you, he won't let you pay for the tab. Again, it's all about showing that you respect what he gives. Men, like women, don't want to feel taken granted for. Yes, treat others the way you want to be treated, but at the same time, expect that the man in your life treats you the same way. The dream girl would never let a man think that she's there because she has nowhere else to go. Her financial independence is a constant reminder to him, however subtle, that if he makes her stay unpleasant, she won't be staying for very long. This ensures that the relationship remains respectful and kind to all. The first thing a woman has to do to get that spark back is to shift her focus and energy back onto herself. When you are relaxed, you've taken the need out of the equation. You no longer appear needy, which immediately changes the dynamic of the stale relationship. The mere fact that you are content with your life keeps you interesting. You are happy with him or without him, and this keeps you just outside of his reach. Don't give a reward for bad behavior. He won't respect a woman who automatically goes into overdrive to please him. Don't waste 2 hours waiting for a call. That's 2 hours you can spend going to the gym or doing something else that's important to you. Never allow someone to be your priority while allowing yourself to be their option. Confident women laugh when they receive ridiculous feedback. If you want to control your emotions, you have to control your thoughts. As Eleanor Roosevelt said, you must do the thing you think you cannot do. You have to break the downward spiral of negativity and force yourself to focus on the positive things. With a good man, he's not thinking, how can I take? He's thinking, how can I give? A quality man wants to keep his wife or girlfriend happy, emotionally. It's ego. I am man enough to please my woman. Misery is not a return. You have full control over how you are made to feel. You may feel like you are handcuffed and bound, but you are holding the key to those cuffs and can very easily take them off. The big picture is your happiness and your health. She's not obsessed with pleasing a man, or anyone other than herself. A dream girl. A woman who won't bang her head against the wall, obsessing over someone else's opinion, be it a man or anyone else in her life. She understands if someone does not approve of her, it's just one person's opinion. Therefore, it's of no real importance. She doesn't try to live up to anyone else's standards, only her own. Because of this, she relates to a man very differently. She has more self-control than a woman who is emotional. A yes woman who gives too much sends the impression that she believes in the man more than she believes in herself. Men view this as weakness, not kindness. The minute someone else can dictate what you think or how you feel about yourself, you are at their mercy. Standing up for yourself doesn't always involve verbal confrontation. Sometimes it's about not wasting energy on people who are negative. Truly powerful people don't explain why they want respect. They simply don't engage with someone who doesn't give it to them. Kindness is always the first choice. But there are times when you can't be kind to someone who doesn't have your best interests in mind. When you see this behavior, it's appropriate to be kind to yourself by responding to it, either by correcting the situation or by not allowing the person to have access to you. The dream girl can be soft and very feminine, but she still has a quiet dignity. This woman lets people know in a grateful way that she won't be easily manipulated. She won't jump through hoops, and she won't define herself by what others think of her. As Eleanor Roosevelt said, no one can make you feel inferior without your consent. When a woman is secure with herself, she isn't afraid to define herself and defy public opinion. She has her own look, her own style, her own charisma, her own brand of charm. A man wants something he doesn't see every day, not in terms of a redhead versus a blonde. He wants a rare woman who can think for herself. A dream girl isn't afraid to be different, which is why she won't be a booty call. She won't be a man's late-night convenience. She won't be afraid to turn 30 or 40 years old. At any age, this woman will feel like a prize. She won't be defined by the media's perception of aging. Married, single, or divorced, this woman feels good about herself. The new and improved dream girl is truly strong because she is nice, but also demands the same kindness in return. Putting yourself first is not something men resent. On the contrary, a man actually respects it. He feels as though there is far less weight on his shoulders when you are independent, and he doesn't have to make you happy all the time. He'll regard you as a secure woman. When it comes to believing yourself, put your eye to the mark and don't blink. If you have a goal, a dream, or an aspiration, believe in yourself while you are on the way to your destination, and you have already arrived. Throughout life, people will try to shake your faith in yourself. When this happens, remind yourself that the only way they can succeed is if you allow it. When you walk down the street of life, hold your head high and keep walking. Don't ever let anyone shake your faith in yourself, because it's all you really have. The most attractive quality of all is dignity. I know that was a lot of information, so I'm going to do a quick recap of some of the main points I got from this book. Keep your identity. Maintain your life, your goals, and your interests. When you're in a relationship, the world does not revolve around him. Confidence is attractive. There is no competition, no need to compare or overcompensate. Don't put yourself down. Accept compliments with a simple thank you. Actions over words. If you're being disrespected, stay calm, don't react, and don't waste energy talking. Be distant and pour energy back into yourself. Let him do things for you. Be thankful when he does things for you, and reward good behavior with gratitude. Let him earn your affection. Don't put out for the first few dates, and only when you're ready. If you allow intimacy before he even treats you, it'll set the tone for the rest of the relationship. Don't be his mother. Allow him to have responsibility. Don't try and do everything or fix everything for him. That's all I have for today. I actually learned this book from Tam Carr, so I'm super appreciative to her. I truly hope this is able to help you or someone you love, and I will see you next week for the next one. Thanks so much. Bye.